Why, hello everyone, how are you doing this fine day? Hope you're enjoying your wink. I'm not gonna waste your time and bury the lead here. If you came clicking on this video for a really solid debate, you're not gonna get it. I made a community post about this and asked people if they wanted me to release this video, and everyone said yes, so here it is. But basically what happened here was I was supposed to get into a debate with a guy known as C-Main. We debated before, he's a cool guy, but he decided to invite a bunch of his scaling friends from outside of the channel and outside of the Discord. They came in and things got a bit chaotic. These people were unbelievably rude, and they were, well, what can I say? They were scalers, which made this debate go off the rails very, very quickly. If you came here looking for a debate to watch, a really good in-depth debate between two intellectuals, that's not what this is. This is more so like a debate equivalent of Jerry Springer. Like if you're someone who knows that you're the type of person that wants to see a car accident mid, crash, then this is gonna be right down your alley. It's that sweet drama. Because this isn't normally what I do, I'm probably not gonna actually leave this video on here very long. I'll probably make it a members only after a day or two, just so it doesn't screw up the whole algorithm of my channel. But some people did say they want to watch it, so it's here. Check it out while it is, and if you do, for some reason, enjoy the video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, and join the membership. Remember, to join the membership, you get videos early. But I've wasted enough of your time. Let's get started. What was the debate that you wanted to have? You told me, I don't remember.
It was Doctor Who versus Doomguy, or you could do Doom versus matter.
Yeah, okay, sure, why not? Let's do it.
Which one are you picking, Doomguy or just the Doomverse?
I mean, I could just do Doomguy.
Okay. That's cool.
I think it's overkill either way. Doomguy's not a fun character to debate with because he's designed to be the best at everything at all times, the greatest, the most powerful thing in existence.
That's cool and all. I mean, I just don't think he's greater than Doctor Who, and that's my personal opinion. But
okay.
Yeah, that's whatever.
We'll find out.
Can you bring up my peeps who's gonna help me debate?
Sure, go for it.
Yeah.
Rouga, do you mind if I ask you a question, like about how this debate's gonna go? I'm gonna run with like formal premises, or we're just gonna run.
Ask whatever question you want.
So, are we running under premises or just position? Are we gonna form like a line of reasoning?
It's it's gonna be good faith, Big Murphy. Regular debating, bro.
So just positions, all right?
Yeah,
they're simple.
3v1. Rouga will be by himself.
That's fine.
And, yeah, Lee said he wanted to debate on your side. So if you want to pull him up again.
On my side?
Yeah.
I'm okay. You guys start since you guys are the ones that brought up the debate.
My opening argument is that simply the Doctor Who verse would scale above Doomverse, and Doctor Who scales to his universe, and if he scales to a universe that scales above the Doom universe, then Doomguy can't touch it, bro. It's that simple. Because Doctor Who scales to something known as the omniversal spectrum, and the Doctor Who verse is known as a Type 4 multiverse.
What is an omniverse and a Type 4 multiverse?
A Type 4 multiverse is basically like a multiverse with all possibilities. So basically, all possible and impossible worlds.
So every multiverse that's infinite, basically? What makes it better or worse than any other multiverse?
Essentially, it's infinite possibilities, right? Some multiverses like have a limited amount of universes in them. I'd say like say the Dragon Ball verse. I don't think it's infinite size. It has like a limited cosmology.
No, I know. I'm saying what makes that universe better than any other unlimited multiverse?
Because it has all possibilities.
Yeah. So if you have an infinite timeline, that generally means infinite possibilities, but it doesn't matter. The Doom universe has infinite universes with infinite timelines. Each of those individual timelines within those infinite timelines are described as infinite fractals that can go in infinite ways. So I'm not seeing how it's any better.
Does Doom Slayer or Doomguy scale to that?
He's the most powerful being in the entire verse. He killed the dude who created it.
Oh yeah, Davith. Okay. So what are some win cons? Because Doctor Who has Acausality. He has the bootstrap paradox as well.
And what does that do?
Doesn't it say Doomguy tried to kill Doctor Who? Another Doctor Who would come from a different point in time to prepare the previous Doctor Who for that. So he wouldn't die.
Yeah, he would. Well, for one, Doom has the exact same thing. The makers, they're omniscient. They're capable of looking into infinite timelines across infinite universes and see whatever happens. Within those infinite timelines of infinite possibilities, they saw that there was only, across every single one, Doomguy's will could not be undone. The one thing that would happen, no matter what they changed throughout any of those timelines, is that Doomguy would come into existence and Doomguy would kill her, defeat all the demons, and kill Davith. There is no getting around it. If Doomguy wills it, it will happen.
What is that? What, fate manipulation?
No, I suppose by y'all's definitions it would be Acausality. His will becomes true across infinite timelines, across infinite universe, across infinite possibilities. You can't undo it.
I'm gonna pass baton to Big Murphy since this nigga says I'm selling DMs. Go on, Murphy.
You can like have the point that he's like above the Doomverse, but can we have a discussion on what the acausal means? Do you know what causality is?
Go ahead.
That was super
Do you know,
rhetorical shit.
no, I'm asking you a question. Yeah, sure.
You're the one. Y'all are the ones that are bringing up the acausality. So y'all define what it is.
Do you want to
tell me
define
what
it is?
Yes.
So it's a relationship between cause and effect.
Okay.
Right. So being inevitable doesn't necessarily mean you'll be above cause and effect. Like he would still cause something and be affected by things.
No, by your definition, that would be a causality, because if the maker could see into yes, it is, because the maker could see into an infinite number of timelines, and no matter what she did, no matter what she caused, she could not affect what Doomguy would do, which would eventually, she couldn't stop her own death. No matter what. Even though she was omniscient and she knows exactly what's going to happen, she can't stop it no matter what. Because it would be above the idea of cause and effect.
So what you're saying is it's logically possible for it was logically impossible for Doomguy not to come into existence.
Yeah, yes. Well, the idea in the Doom universe is that because there are infinite timelines with infinite possibilities, that there should be a possibility where Doomguy does not succeed in his goal, but there wasn't one. It's the only thing in infinite possibilities that would happen no matter what. It's the only constant.
So, do you have any proof that this was Doomguy's doing?
What do you mean?
Do you have any proof that he himself was causing the acausality and it wasn't something else?
It's him. It's him who's.
It's him. Yeah. But that's not really saying anything. I could be walking down the street and in every possible conceivable universe, a child blows up next to me. That doesn't necessarily mean that I cause a child to blow up. I'm asking you to prove that or is there any evidence to point towards that fact that he's actually causing this acausality and he's not just being the center of it?
Well, what would the center of it be? If he's the one, well, that would be up to you to counterprove, not me. I mean, if he's the one who's going through through infinite timelines, infinite possibilities, he's the only thing that's the solid thing throughout, and you want to point to it being something other than him who's the center of it, then you could try and argue that if you want. You could try and prove it wrong, but I don't have to prove that I mean, what would be the difference of that and saying oh, well, Cyclops can shoot lasers out of his face, but you have to prove that the lasers are his doing. It's well, it's coming from him. That's the proof. If you want to counter that, you would have to give me some kind of counter evidence that would say that that's not him.
What you're saying is that you're arguing that I'm presupposing the fact that I'm saying, oh yeah, it has to be something else. I'm asking, that's not what was happening.
Oh, I'm not saying that you're saying you have to. I'm saying that you're asking me to prove something that seems obvious.
That would be my.
If you're trying to say that the source of this power is something other than Doomguy, that's something that you would have to prove. I don't have to prove that the source is Doomguy when the power is coming from him.
What you're doing is that's not what you're attacking. You're not attacking my argument. I asked you a simple question. That's not me asserting anything. I could just say, I could ask you, oh yeah, did you kill 5 babies, right? That wouldn't necessarily mean I'm saying, oh yeah, you have killed those 5 babies.
Well, then it's an irrelevant
question. It's the opposite.
Well,
it wouldn't.
Then it's an irrelevant question.
That it's redundant.
Well, it's an
you
irrelevant.
Can prove it's redundant.
Then it's an irrelevant
can
question.
You prove that?
Then it's an irrelevant
can
question.
You prove it, though?
Then it's an irrelevant question. You can't force me what questions that you want me to answer. I told you.
No, but if a question is redundant, you still have to provide evidence for it. Let's say if I was in the court of law, right, I can't just say, oh yeah, that question doesn't matter, and move on. You still have to give logical reasoning for why the question doesn't matter.
Well, no, you would have to tell me why the question is matter. This isn't a court of law. If you try and ask me a particular question, you're asking it for a reason. And if I'm telling you that it's not, that there is no reason for it, and that you would have to give me a reason as to why I would have to answer that particular question if it's not actually calling out anything that I've particularly done, said, or aligns with the character. So.
You're right. No, I wasn't attacking anything. I was asking in general towards your scale.
Okay, and in general.
Oh look, we don't. I thought I didn't interrupt you.
You did actually. You did actually, but yeah, you can finish.
Okay, then if so, my bad. I apologize. Anyway, I'm going to continue. Yeah, so I was asking that in case if someone else did cause that acausal thing, that would necessarily make Doomguy acausal. So that's why my question would matter to it, despite the fact that it wasn't my burden. And so yeah.
You'd have to prove that it's somebody else.
Why would I have to prove that somebody else?
Because you're the one because you're bringing up something that there's no evidence for in the series. That's why.
Yeah, no, I'm asking you a question. You could just say, oh no, it isn't. I didn't assert anything, so there's no burden for me to prove. If I asked you, oh yeah, you can justify it. You can prove that nobody else did it. I asked. That's not what I asked. I'm pretty sure, at least.
You didn't ask me that.
Yeah, I'll check. We can check back in the stream. I'm pretty sure if I didn't say that, then it's my bad.
No, you asked me if I can prove that it wasn't someone else. The way you did
Yeah,
not,
we-
you
I'll go
didn't
check the
word
stream
that.
right now, Gun.
You didn't
Yeah, I
word.
can go,
You
like,
did not
check the
word.
stream.
Listen. Okay, we're not.
Oh,
We're not.
look.
We're not. You gotta stop talking when someone else is talking. We're not gonna sit here arguing words and semantics. You just tell me what your argument is, and we'll get into an argument about it. You didn't ask me, is the power come from someone else? You said, can I prove that it comes from him and not someone else? Those are two different questions. So
Okay.
if you're asking me
Yeah,
if I want to prove something that does not need to be proven, because there's no evidence that exists, that if you asked me if there was any evidence that it was coming from someone else, then that would be a reasonable question to ask. But to ask me to prove a negative, there would be no way for me to prove that any more than would be any way for me to prove that Cyclops' lasers come from something that's not Cyclops. Like, it's like, well, that's actually a really bad example, because Cyclops' lasers come from another universe. But you get what I'm saying.
So you're making an argument from negation. You're saying that what else would it come from? Is
No.
that where you're arguing from?
No, I'm not
Yeah,
making. I'm not
because
making.
of that Cyclops analysis.
You gotta let other
I mean,
people
that
talk.
would still work,
You have
right?
to let other
My
people.
bad.
You have to let other people talk.
My bad.
I am not saying, I never brought up the idea that the power came from anything that wasn't Doomguy. I've asserted from it's just, this is something that Doomguy can do. You're the one bringing up the question that it's coming from someone else, or that it could come from someone else. If that's something that you want to bring up, then you have to cover it. This is a really bad train of arguments that you're going down. You're trying to ask me to defend something that you're just pulling out of the ether. I don't have to defend that. There's no evidence that it's coming from anything other than Doomguy. So why would I have to in any way defend this?
Yeah, I just got a question. For the Mosi debate, you're saying that there's nothing indicating that Cyclops lasers...
No. I just corrected myself. I know, his lasers are actually from a different universe. It was a bad example. I was just correlating. If I were to say, oh, Nightcrawler has the power of teleportation, and then he would use an argument, oh, well, you have to prove that his
Never mind. You
teleportation...
can kick. Finally, never mind. You can kick Japan, because the original person who's supposed to be Little Root, Big Root is here. You could please bring it. I'm sorry.
That's all I wanted to ask.
Guys,
No,
look, can we
do not
just...
kick Japan?
Everything's kind of...
Yeah.
Look, guys, this is all extreme. Y'all are making this very, very unorganized. Who wants to come in? And after people come in, I'm not letting anyone else in. We have to have this debate. We're not going to keep this isn't going to be
it's just
fucking...
It's just Big Root.
It's just Big Root.
Okay,
That's it.
where is Big... Okay, I see Big Root. Big Root is getting invited. Boop. All right, now Big Root, you can jump in. All right, now we're going to stick to the people who are here.
I don't even know where we're at right now. So
Okay, we were at the Murphy. Can you explain what point? Or actually, Rouga can explain what point you're at, please.
Essentially, Big Murphy and Rouga have just been arguing over a little bit of the premise of whether Acausality comes from Doomguy or it could be anyone else possibly, and whether or not Doomguy has the fucking Acausality within him, or if it's another form,
we've already talked about this. Look, you have to, if you want to prove that it comes from something other than Doomguy, then you have to be the one to bring up that evidence. I don't have to prove that it doesn't come, that it's coming from someone else.
How about this? I think it would be better if he continued off my point, which was
I don't care.
What do we?
Just someone give me an argument.
Okay, we ended off on Doctor Who also has Acausality. What else did I scale? I scaled him above. I scaled him to the Doctor Who universe because the Master controlled the Glory, and the Glory is essentially the universal spectrum. That's where I left off at on my scale. So you can just continue off of me.
So is any of that contended or?
Ruga agreed to it. He thinks that that would be the same size as the Doom universe, because he said the Doom universe also had infinite possibilities as well. That would also be a Type 4 multiverse.
I mean, it's just by the way you described it, it's the same thing.
Infinite possibilities is vague, right? Where do you guys think that scales? Because I could say hypothetically you could have infinite 3D possibilities.
I think for Doctor Who it would inherently be 4D. He's a Time Lord.
Dimensionality is a bullshit concept made up by scalars. It's not real.
Hey, okay, look, that's not my debate. You can debate that shit with someone else.
Yeah, it's not a thing. Y'all just made that shit up. It's not a
Wait,
thing.
You don't think dimensional axes exist?
No, dimensionality doesn't exist as you describe it.
Okay. Do you not think spatial directions exist?
No, dimensionality as scalars describe it in fictional versus debates does not exist in the way you describe it. You take the word dimensionality, but you don't describe it in any way that it actually works in theoretical physics. You just made up a bunch of bullshit. It's theory, so obviously not true or not proven true. In theoretical physics, there are different dimensions. There's a second dimension, third dimension, fourth dimension, all these different types of things. The second dimension cannot interact, talk to, speak, see, or in any way influence influence the third dimension, same thing, vice versa, third dimension on the second dimension. No one dimension is stronger than any other dimension, they just can't interact with each other. Because we're third dimensional beings, we are not more powerful, we do not trump the second dimension, we can't interact with it because we cannot interact with a universe that doesn't have depth. Because the third dimension has height, width, and depth. If there's a dimension that has something more or something less, you can't interact with it. But it's not more powerful. That's not how it works. For me to enter the second dimension, I would have to be able to become 2D. For someone 2D to come into the third dimension, they would have to become 3D. So if you could pass between multiple dimensions, you should have the power to do that, but that doesn't make you infinitely more powerful than the person in the lower dimension. That is not how dimensionality works in theoretical physics.
Do you think something 3D does not consist of more matter than something that's 2D?
The way that matter works across multiple dimensions would be entirely different. In theory, if we're looking at it the way that matter works with us, you can have a 2D space that's so big that it has more matter than a 3D space. I mean, theoretically, but in reality, because it would be. What do you mean? What are you talking about? What do you mean?
Because
how?
like you said, you have a fucking 2D space.
Well, no, I was saying in reality, matter wouldn't work the same way in those two dimensions. They shouldn't be comparable in that way. 2D cannot exist in 3D and vice versa. The matter would work totally different. Same thing with 4D.
Like I could say that, yeah, like you can't have a 3D being that exists in a 2D realm, but I'd still say like if I destroy a 3D construct, I still have a higher AP.
Why would you have a higher AP? You can't exist.
More matter in like a 3D realm, right? Just
based on what?
Well, like I could just give you the fucking like square and cube example where I can fit an infinite amount of fucking 2D fucking squares inside of a cube.
No, you can't, because you cannot measure matter the same way in a 2D space as you do in a 3D space.
I'm making an analogy. I'm saying hypothetically, like if you could, like yeah, you could fit an infinite amount in there.
But you can't.
Let me say let me say this. Just because if you're saying these things can't interact does not like defeat one containing more matter than the other. Like I don't even see how that's sequitur. Like you're just saying, well, these things can't interact, therefore it's the case that like, oh, you're not.
That's not what I said. I said that matter literally cannot work the same way in those two different spaces. You're trying to measure matter in the way it works in a 3D space and measure that equally in a 2D space, which you can't do because they literally don't have depth. The laws of matter would be completely different in a 2D space. So you trying to measure it based on that doesn't make sense. You can't measure 4D space with normal matter. It actually wouldn't be possible to do scientifically.
Even if you said that, like, okay, matter works in a different way inside of a fucking 2D realm, right? I could still say 3D contains all of the matter that a 2D realm would contain. Plus
no, it doesn't. It can't. Nothing 2D can exist in a 3D world. How can it contain the same matter?
Wait, do you think length and width don't exist within like a 3D like plane?
No, but depth does, and depth doesn't exist in a 2D world, so you can't measure it the same way.
I'm saying I would have the fucking matter of like length and width on top of 3D.
But that's not how matter works. Matter has depth, so you're not measuring matter the way it would be measured if it even was a concept in a 2D space. This is not even what the argument is. The argument here is about Doomguy versus thing, and we're getting up on fucking on how matter works.
But like anyway, like I was just like curious about.
You can't measure them. They cannot interact in any conceivable way. It's scalars who have come up with this idea that they can, and it's not true.
Can't interact. It doesn't mean that one thing isn't bigger than another thing. Like if I just say, well, like the Eiffel Tower hypothetically couldn't interact with the Pyramid of Giza, that doesn't mean like the fucking Eiffel Tower.
No, because they're both 3D.
No, I'm just making a fucking analogy.
It's a bad analogy because they're both 3D.
That's not. I'm just saying two things that like hypothetically couldn't interact.
I understand. I get what you're doing. It's just a bad analogy.
Yeah, but how does it not follow? Like you're just saying it's a bad analogy.
How would matter be measured in a 2D space?
I don't even see how this is relevant.
How is it not relevant? You came up with the argument that 3D has more matter than 2D. So how would matter be measured in a 2D space? You're the one who brought this up. So if you
I pretty much already said.
No, you can't, because you can't measure matter without depth. That's how measuring matter works. We literally do not have a scientific formula to measure matter in a 2D space. It doesn't exist.
It would just be fucking more because we have length and width and then plus depth.
No,
right?
Because weight wouldn't work the same way. Weight wouldn't work the same way. Mass wouldn't work the same way. Matter wouldn't work the same way. They cannot interact. Any formula that we could possibly come up with, you couldn't use it.
Don't interact, therefore one isn't bigger than the other doesn't follow. Like if you put this in the fucking
Yes, because the
form of-
concept of size is not the same. So yes, I can say that doesn't follow. You literally couldn't measure things the same way using the same formulas. It can't be bigger in a 2D or 3D because all of your formulas and all of your measurement techniques won't work.
I'm just saying this is gonna be like denotatively fucking true. I don't even
It's
need.
not.
I don't need to like. I don't need a fucking way to put it on on a scale. Like if I just say
That's what you're trying to do, though. You're trying to say that you started off by asking me what has more matter. So you're trying to put it on a scale. You're just trying to put it on a scale in a way that makes you right.
I'm just saying it would have more matter because it just contains
It
the other
wouldn't. We
matter.
already established you can't measure matter in a 2D space because you need depth to do it.
I don't need to put the 2D thing in a fucking 3D space or vice
You
versa.
can't measure matter. You started this by.
I'm not arguing that I need to fucking put it on a fucking scale. My fucking argument is just that no matter what, the fucking length and width is just gonna be contained within the 3D space plus the depth, so that just makes it more analytically.
No, because you can't. And I already explained why you can't do that because you can't measure the matter.
It's non sequitur. Like I don't get it. Like what are the premises that lead to the
Big Rude,
conclusion?
pass the
You
baton,
brought
bro.
up the maths.
Pass the baton, Big Rude.
You
Please.
brought up. What's up?
Yeah, okay, I'll pass the baton, but like I don't think what he's saying.
Okay, Rouga, I'd like to apologize for things going very semantical
That's
at the end
fine.
there.
You don't have to apologize for. He's a big boy. I'm a big boy too. You don't have to apologize for him. Go ahead, C-Man. What's
No,
wrong?
I just okay. I was gonna ask. So does the Doom verse scale to Nirvana?
Does
it scale to
Doom
Nirvana?
scale to what's? You mean the band? Probably.
Oh my God! Say fucking joke, you old ass. Sorry. I mean the actual realm. I mean the actual realm.
What is
Doom guys-
Nirvana?
It's beyond concepts. I'm pretty sure. By definition, I can look up the actual definition real quick, or somebody. My phone's acting real laggy. But essentially, it scales above all concepts. What else? Like dualism and shit. You basically ascend it above time and space. You ascend it above everything in reality.
Yeah, so Hell, Doomguy, Davith, Urdak are all stated to be above the concepts of time, space, and dimension. In fact, if you're still talking about dimensionality, you would be underneath Doomguy and Davith and Urdak and all of that because they're completely, those concepts aren't relevant to them.
If the War Doctor ascended to Nirvana via the fucking cycle regulator or whatever the shit's called, would that not make Doomguy and Davith equal then?
They would only be equal if you can't kill them.
So they can't kill each other. They're
Why?
both atemporal beings.
Why can't you kill them?
They're both atemporal beings, right?
So is
How
Davith.
they be able to kill each other?
So is Davith.
Exactly. So how'd they be able to kill each other?
Because Doomguy killed Davith.
Okay. Let's
Doomguy,
see.
look, Doomguy, look. Here's the thing. This is why I don't like using Doomguy in debates. And y'all shouldn't have picked him to be in this debate because Doomguy is as powerful as he needs to be. The creator of Doomguy has straight up said that he will acquire new powers that he needs to overcome any threat. He is the most powerful character that is capable in fiction. He cannot fail. He cannot lose. He will overcome anything. It doesn't matter how strong the character is. Infinite, whatever. It doesn't matter. Every universe in Doom, the higher universes are infinitely above what is possible in dimension, time, space. Doomguy will overcome whatever he needs to overcome in order to beat him. He is a character who is specifically designed to overcome all challenges. The demonic invasion was designed to be the ultimate challenge that no one can overcome, and Doomguy can still overcome it because literally
Rouga,
everything
yeah.
above him is beyond infinite. That's
I'd like to
how
inform
he's-
you that I am tapping out to go to sleep because it's like 1 in the morning for
It's
me.
fine. Yeah, you don't have to. You can just
tap
leave.
Wally.
Yeah, it's fine. You don't have to tell me that.
Tapping Wally. Wally, like the guy with the fucking, I don't know, red profile picture.
It's fine. Look, guys,
Yeah,
when y'all need to leave, just
tap
go.
him in.
Just go. You don't have to tell me.
Yeah, I'm telling you to tap him in, gang. Wally, tap in Wally because I gotta go to sleep.
Okay, you can go. You just leave.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Don't know how to kick people out, or else I would have kicked
Out.
them
No,
before
it's
he
fine.
got
Anyway, what's up, C-Man?
I'm breaking the first argument down. You're saying that it is possible for him to stab someone else by being aspatial or atemporal. Can you go ahead and define aspatial or atemporal since you clearly don't understand them?
No, I don't. Explain it to me.
Yeah, so aspatial or atemporal means lacking any physical properties. So how the fuck can he move if he lacks physical properties?
What do you mean?
Literally what I just said. I simplified it down.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, how can he move if he lacks physical properties?
How
You
can
just
he
said the
move
same thing. That
if
wasn't
he lack-
simplifying it.
Yeah, that wasn't simplifying. You repeated yourself. How can he move when he lacks physical properties?
Yes.
He
Because
does.
obviously movement would require some type of dimensionality.
He does have physical
that's-
properties.
He does that, then how the fuck is he transcending space and time? Like, what the fuck?
because it's stated in the lore that he transcends
Yeah,
space
it can
and
be.
time.
That's fine. I can say I'm fucking God. That doesn't make me God. So like, what's the argument for it being the case? I can say whatever the fuck I want. That doesn't make it true.
Okay, so
what's
you're saying that we should just ignore all of the lore that's written?
No, I don't give a fuck about the author thinks. Authors can contradict themselves
Wally,
multiple times.
Wally,
I can make a
Wally,
right now and
Wally,
contradict myself.
Wally, I'm a fucking kick you, Wally. You're about to get kicked, Wally.
I muted him.
Calm the fuck down, Wally. I don't know what games you normally play in your little chat rooms, but you need to calm.
just-
Talk like an
why
adult,
would that-
please.
Because it's stated doesn't mean it's true. So go ahead and give that argument for that being the case. Like,
No, I get my argument. If the author of a story says that someone is above state, if the lore,
Let him
Wally,
finish talking or he's gonna kick you.
Wally,
I can't say it is the case because it is the case. What's the argument for it?
Wally. Okay.
I got rid of
If
him.
you're an emotional fucking train wreck, don't come up. Okay? All right. So, Big Rude, you want to debate like an adult? I guess with these fictional characters.
Can we do like a different topic though? Because I don't even know where we were at in this topic. Everyone else is gone anyway. So
If you have one.
one.
If C main, did C main? Why did C main go down?
I didn't kick C main. I think he just left the.
He just had a thing. That's fine. If we can't get like
he's waving again. If you want me to bring him back.
I did. I brought him back up. If we can't get anybody up here who's
my bad. My fucking Android crashed, but it's cool.
No, it's fine. Look, if we can't get a decent debate going, we'll move on to another debate.
Fuck it, we can move on. I'll concede.
Okay.
We could still do the Archie Sonic shit because at least it said he wanted to do it. He been one of my fave.
You want to do Archie Sonic? I mean, we couldn't really do Doctor Who because we had a bunch of babies coming up in the chat. Wait, hold up.
No, I know. The only reason I needed to argue Doctor Who is because like he's a very high tier character. Right, but even though Archie Sonic is, I know his skilling very well. I can
got
argue
you.
him.
And if you want to do Archie Sonic against Doomguy, we could do Archie Sonic versus Doomguy.
All right, now, fuck it, sure. Actually, can I use comp? Is comp Sonic a lot? Is comp Sonic good?
Yeah, it don't matter.
Comp
I don't
Sonic.
care. I mean, after the Sonic one, I'll probably move on to another topic and somebody else. I don't want to make this entire stream just Doomguy versus fucking C-Man and his friends. You know, it's like.
I know. I just need this little segment for my shit. That's it.
All right, go ahead. Give me your argument.
Let's see. Does Doomguy have any resistance to reality warping?
Does Doomguy have any resistance to reality warping? Yes.
Yes. How fast is he?
As fast as he wants to be, according to the creator and the lore.
What the fuck? Oh!
I told you, anytime you debate with Doomguy, it's not fair. It's not fair, it's not fun to do. His power is described as his power matches that of his will. He wills new powers into existence when he wants to do something. His speed, strength, everyone is it's all as powerful as he wills it, and his will is infinite and never ending. It's why he's incorruptible by the demon corruption is inevitable and constant, and he's the only person in existence that's completely immune to it because his will is infinite. He'll fight forever. He went to hell and he fought for eons, which at bare minimum is 2 billion years, straight without sleep, food, water, whatever, just based on his will. And he just fought straight for 2 billion years, bare minimum. He's not a character that you throw into these types of debates. It's the reason why I didn't use him in any of my Would You Survive challenges, because it would immediately make the challenge pointless. I don't think that there's a fictional character you could put Doomguy against that he wouldn't either trounce or just match. Like, I don't think it's possible.
Not just Superman. Is that literally just Superman?
I would actually say Superman has very clear limitations at times, whereas Doomguy doesn't really have. He's specifically designed to not have limitations.
Where are these statements even at?
So some of the statements are in interviews with the creator. Most of them are in the lore book and the concept art book, where they actually go into depth about it. Like there's an explanation for basically every single little thing that they have in their game. For instance, like the character customize, where you pick his costume to what you play through. You'd think that's okay. You're just picking your costume. But if you read the lore book, that's not actually what's happening. What is actually happening is that when he alters Doomguy's costume, what he's doing is he is folding the reality from infinite number of different realities onto himself to mimic the memories, skills, abilities, and appearance of other versions of him in other timelines across all of existence. So it's like everything has like a ridiculous over-the-top explanation for how it works and why. It specifically says in the lore book that hell itself, as well as Davith and Doomguy, are above the concepts of space, time and dimensions.
So Doomguy's power, this sounds like fate manipulation. That's what this sounds like.
I'm sure fate manipulation is in there. I wouldn't put it past them, but there's definitely more to it than just
There's
fate.
arguments for Sonic having fate manipulation too, though.
The problem with Doomguy, and the reason why it's so hard to debate with Doomguy, is because the characters that Doomguy fights with and fights against have all the powers he does, and he's always shown to overcome them no matter what. So, like, he can't be erased from existence, and a lot of the characters he's fighting can't be erased from existence, but he can erase them from existence anyway. There are characters who are completely immune to death. They're above the concept of death. Death doesn't affect them or defy them. They are an unlimited number of them. Characters are omniscient. Well, guess what? Even though they're omniscient, it doesn't matter. Doomguy can still get to them and kill them, regardless of the fact that they know everything, and they know they're going to die, and they can't do anything to stop it. There is very likely not a power that you could say that Sonic has that Doomguy hasn't faced and overcome through just bullshit. Because that's how Doomguy is written as a character. Again, this is why I don't like using this character in these types of debates.
Yeah, the best thing I can go for is the negation, because that sounds like a lot. Sonic has a lot of feats like that with the fate manipulation, like going up against Monolith Mongol, winning up against him twice, like defeating him at his strongest twice when he was a god. And literally Monolith Mongol saying that he's always fated to lose against Sonic due to like him being a force of chaos in the universe, right? Then you go over to the games. You have the end, if you played Sonic Frontiers, right? The end is literally stated to be stronger than all of Sonic's previous villains, right? He said himself, the end went into Sonic's mind. He literally said that all his previous villains were finite. He's infinite. He's inevitable. I'm pretty sure he's literally to be a manifestation of the end, the concept of death and shit, which Sonic was able to erase not only his avatar and his platonic form or his actual form, kind of like how fucking Darkseid has a real form and a true form. Sonic was able to erase both of them.
So what exactly do you think the win con is for Sonic here?
Probably is none for, well, I guess Doomguy would only have one win con, I guess, him being able to infinitely scale above somebody else, but I generally do think that it would be equal.
The thing about you were saying about the fate manipulation stuff, well, I don't know about fate manipulation, but Davith does have the ability that what he says becomes truth. Like, he just says something and it happens. He's shown this a couple times. He made a deal with Doomguy at the end of Ancient Gods Part 2 where he said that we're going to fight. If you beat me, I'm erasing all of existence, everything that's ever been made ever across, infinite. And if Doomguy wins, he will erase any demon outside of hell that has invaded any other universe, basically trapping them in hell until future notice. And even after Doomguy killed Davith and Davith was dead and no longer in existence, what he stated to be truth and that was going to pass still passed after his death. All the demons went away because Davith is actually a relatively honorable guy, which is probably his biggest weakness. Despite the fact that he's capable of erasing literally all of reality, he cannot erase Doomguy, even though with the whole, again, I'm not sure you could call it fate or truth manipulation or whatever, but he stated this thing that was going to happen. It happened. Davith had to fight Doomguy.
That's not like order manipulation.
Maybe. Davith had to fight Doomguy in a 1v1 fight because there was literally no other way that he could defeat Doomguy. They just had to beef it out, and he couldn't beef it out with Doomguy, and Doomguy killed him, who is like the most powerful being in the entire thing. But there's also characters like Titan. For whatever reason, we have no idea. There's a type of demons known as Titans who were like ancient gods that were turned into demons that became this race known as Titans. For whatever reason, certain Titans cannot be killed by anyone. They can't be erased. They can't be killed or dead or anything like that. They have true immortality, the most pure version of immortality, to the point they cannot die no matter what you do. And it's true. Doomguy is actually not capable of killing them, at least as far as we could see. Although it is stated that he killed one with his fists prior to the events of the game, but we don't know how that's possible. But yeah, apparently he did kill one. But in the game, when he goes after Icon of Sin, because Icon has this true immortality, he had to use a Crucible. Crucible has the ability that when you stick the blade inside of someone, it essentially acts temporary death. You stab someone, you break the handle off, the blade stays in there. As long as that blade is in their flesh, they will be dead. But if you ever pull it out of a Titan, the Titan will come back to life. Now, this blade works on everybody no matter what, except for these Titans. So you could say that, well, Sonic is immune to death or whatever, he can't die. He will die to the Crucible. Even if Doomguy somehow couldn't kill him because he has the truest form of immortality, to the point that literally nothing could kill him no matter what, even complete conceptual eraser, he would still be able to be killed by the Crucible.
I say that's a big if, consider that Sonic has teleportation via chaos control, And speaking
Sure,
of,
but
like,
he's not
what-
the only
what-
person who has teleportation. Doomguy's fought a bunch of dudes with teleportation.
I know,
The
but
basic imp has teleportation.
I know, I'd say that Sonic would be the most skilled with it. There's statements of like Chaos Emeralds turning like your thoughts into reality. I do believe this because in the Archie Sonic comics, in the Worlds Collide, near the end, Sonic basically he taught Mega Man how to use Chaos Control to the point where they rewrote the universe. Like I forgot which Genesis wave, just either pre-Genesis wave or post-Genesis wave. But in the previous universe, Sally died right to Eggman. So when the universe was remade, not only did Sonic was able to save Sally, but he also literally was able to say hi Sally in like the clouds or some shit.
Davith can do the same thing, like with the reality stuff. I mean, he created everything. In fact, before he actually like willingly went out to create universes, he would passively create universes just by existing. They said he created an infinite multiverse before he ever actually attempted to create anything, because just his existence spouts multiverses, basically. And he can alter reality as much as he wants across anything. I mean, he can do whatever he wants. The reality warping, the gods of the Doom universe have reality warping. Actually, even Icon of Sin, who is like nowhere near Davith, has universe-wide reality warping where just his existence warps reality. And they were actually saying that you had to kill Icon of Sin very quickly, because if he was left alive for too long, the reality warping that he did across the universe would get so severe that he would actually open up a black hole so big it would suck the entire infinite universe into it, and it would basically fuse it with hell. And that's just something that naturally happens from Icon of Sin just existing. And Icon of Sin is way weaker than Demon Gods, than Davith, than Doomguy. Like, Doomguy casually beat the Icon of Sin. So it's like, that's not anything that doesn't exist.
Well, with all the cards on the table, I think that it's probably you won. No, Sonic.
No,
look, wait.
I wanted to have a really good, because you told me that you had these people coming. I was like, okay, I wanted to have a really good debate with you and stuff. But I didn't mind Medium Rude or Big Rude. I don't remember which, the guy who just left. I didn't mind him too much. The British guy was a little bit rude. He needs to chill out. But that Wally guy is unbearable. Like, I don't know.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't even know Wally was gonna come, so I'm sorry. About
How is
him.
that
Please,
even? Who just comes in and starts immediately screaming at people and like?
Look, bro, he's just a retard. Let's be honest. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
Well, it's a good thing he's no longer in the chat. He didn't hear you call him. No, I'm joking.
It's fine. If he doesn't know he's a retard, then he's a retard.
I'll make it up to you, Rouga, next week. We'll have an actual like good debate.
It's
how
fine.
about dialects versus Helldivers?
Ooh.
Is the dialect from Halo?
It's
No,
another
Dialects
Doctor
from
Who
Doctor
thing.
Who.
Based on the things I've heard about Doctor Who, they probably win, to be honest with you. Helldivers aren't as powerful as people say they are. But I don't know. We'll think about it. We'll talk about it. We might have some people. Honestly, I'm not even sure if I'm going to be up for... I'm taking a couple-week break on even debating Helldivers because I'm just getting sick of talking about them. So, but
we can do a different verse, like
maybe.
a bunch of minions.
We'll
like,
see.
I don't care.
We'll see. But let's get some other people up here. Thanks for coming by, C-Main. Sorry it didn't quite work out the way I'm sure you were hoping it would.
Nah, it's cool. I still need that content anyways. I don't care. Shit. I'll get what I need.
I got you. All right. I'll see you later, C-Man.